What up, fam? It's your boy Blam. Welcome to part 1 of the pizza making process. Alright, let's do this thing. Our big bowl here, we got 2 1/4 cup warm water. We got our yeast in there. It's bloomed. We're good to go. I've added 2 tablespoons olive oil, 1 tablespoon sugar, and now we're gonna add 5 cups of your all-purpose flour. So we've tossed in our 5 cups of flour. We got everything in that bowl ready to be turned into some dough that we'll let rise in the fridge. I like to keep a little separate container of extra flour to work with to add as I'm getting this baby ready. I've also spilled a bit of flour on my clean countertop here, but that's fine because we're going to use that as a working material. Alright, so start things off. I'm just going to get a little flour on my hands. I'm going to use this little spatula and get things mixed up with it as much as possible, to reduce how filthy and wet and sticky my hands are gonna get. Alright, check back in a minute. You see, I was able to get a good early mix with just my spatula. Now I'm gonna bring my hands into the equation. I'm gonna bring a little bit of flour on there, start working away. Soon I'm gonna dump this out of the bowl and finish it on the countertop. As I flip it, I feel it's very sticky underneath. I'm just gonna, add flour, little sprinkles here and there on the real sticky parts to make it workable. Alright, I'll check back in another minute. So after just a little bit of hand kneading in the bowl, I got it mostly in a main sort of central unit, and I dumped it out. I got my bowl, resting in the sink. Wash my hands. I'm ready to come back at this. It's still quite sticky. I'm going to be very generous. Not very generous, but don't be hesitant to add a little bit of dusting of flour as needed as you start kneading this. Now, what I've learned is with dough this sticky, you might want to knead it in 2 phases. So I'll give this a little bit of a knead for a couple minutes. Then when it's starting to get tough to work with, instead of adding too much flour, I'll give it about 10 minutes to rest. Then I'll come back and finish the job. I'm going to do this for a few more minutes, and then I'll come back and check in. Alright, Godspeed. So I've been kneading this for about 2 or 3 minutes now. Starting to turn into a nice workable dough, but not quite what I'm hoping to get to just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it rest here for about 10 minutes and let it sort of set a little bit, and I think you'll find when you come back from that it'll be a little easier to work with. The key is you want to add a little bit of flour as you need it, but you don't want to overdo it because you do want to retain sort of the stickiness as much as you can, while keeping it workable, because that'll really help it in the oven ultimately. Alright, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Alright, fam, so we've let our dough sit here for about 10 minutes, 10 or 15, and now we're here to finish off the knead job. We've seen it's already risen again. It's already sort of stretchier and easier to work with. It's going to make a big deal of difference in getting the dough into the right shape and texture that we want. So you're just gonna spend another few minutes kneading this dough, and then put it in the fridge, and we'll be all set. All right, I'll check back in just a couple. Now you can see after just letting that rest for a while and coming back and kneading a bit more, we get this nice sort of fluffier, beautiful stretchy dough. It's already sort of starting to rise in our hands. You can see that lovely, gorgeous texture. Wow. Alright, wow, would you look at that? A little kneading, a little resting, a little more kneading. We've got a beautiful little ball of dough here. Now, some people like to separate this in 4 containers. Me, I personally couldn't be arsed. I want to dump the whole thing into one bowl. Then on Saturday, when I make my first 2 pies, I'll cut that baby in half, and then I'll cut that half in half. Work from there. I'm just going to put some olive oil in my bowl. Let that rinse around. Maybe a little bit more. Olive oil, good. Want to keep that, helps keep the dough nice and moist in there. You don't want it to dry out when it's rising in the fridge. Take my dough here, get this bad boy all lathered up. I pop that in the fridge and let it rise for 2. All right, so our dough's ready. We're sliding it in the fridge. We'll see it again in 2 days' time. That just about does it for here, but before we go, finding a new hire can be tough, but our friends at ZipRecruiter are here to help. If you enter in promo code BLAM at checkout, you can get your first job offer for free. They'll do all the heavy lifting, find the best candidates to apply for your job. Alright, remember to smash that like button, and I'll see you on Saturday. Love you, fam. Dan out.